श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तशरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समचरणसरोजं सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभं जघननि जघननिहितपाणिं मण्डनं मण्डनानां तरुणतुलसीमालां कन्धरं कञ्जनेत्रं सदयधवळहासं विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि. Start OB 181. There is no necessity of the five virtues. If one virtue of not expecting anything from anybody is fully developed, the final liberation of the Sayujyata, complete identity with God, serves him and his mind is convinced totally of the absolute Brahman within itself. 182. Non-expectation makes the mind very still. He is free from enmity. He is completely peaceful, and I also help him with great love. 183. Without having to go into caves of mountains or isolating oneself physically from people, if all these five good qualities are developed in mind of the devotee, he will be free and he will be instrumental also to free the whole society. 184. Even by seeing such devotees, people will be emancipated without any doubt. Even remembering their name, the ordinary persons will be liberated. 185. If these five virtues are developed in my devotees, they become purer and more sacred than myself, and I bow down to their feet and put the dust of their feet on my head with all respect. 186. When by evaporation the water from the sea rise up in the sky and the clouds are formed, the waters become sweet and the rain makes the entire world happy and the danger of famine is averted. 187. But if water remains in the sea, it is of no use to anybody. Similarly, my devotees become more sacred than myself because of their faith and devotion. 188. If you try to eat the banana tree itself, it has no meaning, but the banana fruit satisfy the hunger. Similarly, my devotees have more purity than myself. 189. Even I would say that all the sacredness which is felt by people to be in me is the result of the devotion offered by my devotees to me. That is why I run after them to catch the dust of their feet for worship. 190. By salutations offered by me to the feet of my devotees, by respectfully honoring the dust of their feet, I am considered to be the most sacred person. Even the Lord Shankara receives with respect the pure water touched by my feet. This refers to the river Mandakini in heaven, which starts from the feet of Lord Vishnu and was held by the Lord Shankara on his head. The story is from Ramayana. 191. In short, the happiness which my devotees enjoy is beyond all description, and nobody else can have that joy by any other means.
निष्किञ्चनामय्यनुरक्तचेतसः शान्ता महान्तोऽखिलजीववत्सलाः कामैरनालब्धधियो जुषन्ति यत् तन्नैरपेक्षन्न विदुः सुखं मम.
Meaning of the verse: others cannot realize my blissful nature, which is understood by those exalted souls who have nothing to call as their own, whose mind is devoted to me, those who have subdued their passions and love all beings, and whose understanding is not spoiled by desires. This nature of mine can be known only by those who are free from any expectation. 192. There are devotees who have absolutely no possessions of any kind, even to the extent of a broken piece of glass, and who do not see anything else than myself in the whole world. 193. When such devotion is there, The devotees have no pride about their caste, their family, and their body. This is called the state of having no possession. 194. As their mind is completely absorbed in their love for me, there is the bliss of self and divine peace in their consciousness. 195. When devotion culminates in such inner peace, the devotees does not see anybody else in the world except me. 196. Every being whom he looks at, he recognizes as me, and in that joy of recognition, he naturally loves all the beings. 197. When such devotion includes all beings as one with me, that is the state called Mahanta. 198. In that state, all the urges like desire, anger, etc. are destroyed from the mind of that devotee. 199. These desires and other urges in the mind disappear when the devotion is mature, just like the stars which disappear from the sky, as soon as the sun rises. 200. When the desire disappears, all objects go away from the mind, and only the joy of my devotion remains in the mind of the devotee. 201. My devotees are enjoying bliss which is indescribable even by Vedas and which is not covered by time and space. 202. They get that joy by which all the senses and the mind become still and all the organs become charged with the divine bliss. 203. What more should I say in praise of their happiness? Even the happiness which liberation gives cannot be equal to it. See how blessed the devotees of Sri Hari. 204. Many seekers make very great efforts to attain such happy state and they harass themselves by penance. They try to abhor the objects of this outer world. 205. Some practice yoga and perform yajnas. Some study the religious sciences and some give up all their possessions while some other go away from their house and wife. 206. Some eat only fruits. Some go without any food for many days. Some remain naked. Some remain celibate. And some live in caves and ravines. Some live high on the mountains or in the labyrinths of caves. 207. Some keep long hair, some give knots to their hair, some allow their nails to grow long, some try postures of Hatha Yoga, some behave like madmen, or some possessed by ghosts, etc. 208. Some wear crimson and red clothes and keep their heads without any headdress. Some wear only torn rags on their body, and some go for pilgrimage and allow their bodies to emanciate. Some take a vow to be dumb. 209. Some smear their bodies with ashes. Some wander blowing conch. Some do continuous talking. Some like to remain in water. And some are engrossed in rituals in which clay and darbas are used, a kind of grass. Darba is a kind of. 210. Thus, there are many methods, and in following them, numerable seekers harass themselves. 211. Nobody else is fortunate enough to get that bliss which my devotees get. They do not even see how that bliss is. 212. Just as crows never get the nectar of moon rays, my real joy is not available to those who are not my devotees. 213. The loves can get only the blood from the udder of a cow, but does not get the milk from it. 214. Similarly, O Uddhava, those seekers who undertake various penance without any feeling of devotion for me do not get the nectar like Atmic bliss from me. 215. Only those who have sown the seeds of my devotion and have cultivated love for me get the happiness from me in their own self, their Atman. 216. That bliss in the Atman never becomes stale and the devotees never develop dislike for it. And there is no impediment of the organs in having that bliss because it is quite higher than the level of physical organs. 217. You see, whatever joy one gets from the worldly objects is through the organs only. But the sacred devotional joy is not controlled by anything like that. Only really spiritually lucky devotees can get it. 218. When enjoying that bliss, the man who is bearing a body and is otherwise identifying himself with the body becomes free of that awareness or pride of it. And once the bliss is manifest in the devotees, it never wanes. 219. What wonder is there if my ardent devotees are lucky to partake of this bliss? But there are ordinary persons also who have been uplifted by worshipping me. 220. If one is lucky to get the company of saints and some degree of belief in God arises in the mind of that man, he experiences cessa- cessation of the attraction towards objects, even by a little devotion regularly followed.
बाध्यमानोऽपि मद्भक्तः विषयैरजितेन्द्रियः प्रायः प्रगल्भया भक्त्या विषयैर्नाभिभूयते.
Meaning of the verse: if my devotee has sincere devotion for me, he is not generally overpowered by objects, though occasionally he may feel some attractions to objects. 221. How can there be disturbance by objects of senses when the devotees are strongly devoted to me with loyalty and love? 222. When there is devotion in the mind of a person, all his carnal desires are burnt. How can there arise liking for mundane objects? 223. A mirror becomes clean when rubbed with a powder. Similarly, by devotion, the liking for sense objects is washed. To say that the devotee is attracted to such things is a childish statement. 224. Even a man who is completely absorbed in sense enjoyments becomes ascetic if by chance he experiences some devotional feeling in his heart. 225. If a person feels some attraction towards devotional path, but still his desires are not subdued, he is in a divided state of mind. 226. He should prefer my worship with determination and should consider this attraction to sense objects as secondary, unimportant, and worth rejection. I will tell you how the attraction towards objects is transferred into a apathy. 227. When salt is put in the water dissolves that salt. Similarly, when a man purposefully gets more and more interest in the worship, the network of objects is burnt. 228. Similarly, the connection of objects with the mind of the devotee is cut by the strength of continuous devotion and he enjoys the bliss of Atman. 229. Here one may ask if one wants to remove the thought about objects from one's mind, but one will not use devotion as a means to achieve that state, then how can one become free from attraction to those objects? That person does not choose himself to do anything but devotion. 230. Eknath says the Lord Sri Krishna is answering this question. He says even if by chance a spark of fire from a lamp is thrown inadvertently, it does not fail to burn articles in the house and may spread all over the neighborhood, turning everything into ashes. Similarly is the case with devotion.
यथाग्निस्सु यथाग्निस्सु समृद्धार्चिः करोत्येधांसि भस्मसात् तथा मद्विषया भक्तिः उद्धवैनांसि कृत्स्नशः.
Meaning of the verse: as fire which has fully burst into flames reduces a pile of firewood to ashes, so does devotion towards me burns the sins completely, O Uddhava. 231. If a spark from the fire kindled to light a lamp suddenly flies away and touches some combustible material in the house. 232. Though the man does not wish it, the fire flares up, turning to ashes everything in the house and even the town and the environments. 233. Similarly, even if a spark of devotion enters the mind of a person, it burns heaps of past and the present sins. 234. The old sins are very much adhered to the mind and very hard to be removed, and they cause the mind to be constantly upset by attraction towards objects. 235. But if a little devotion towards me arises in that mind, it destroys the whole complex network of sinful thoughts and emotions without delay, just as a camphor burns itself and everything in its contact suddenly. 236. When the mind becomes clean and pure in this way, there is manifest easily the absolute Brahman. And then the mind never turns towards objects. It becomes ascetic automatically. 237. Oh, Uddhava, such is the power of even a little devotion. The importance of totally one pointed devotion is not understood even by Vedas and scriptures. 238. My worship is an abstract power, an invisible emotion. It cannot be seen. As it is beyond concepts, one cannot form any idea about it. As it is unfathomable, it cannot be understood even by all types of efforts and penances. 239. Even I cannot see the final limits of my devotion. That is why I only obey the wishes of my devotees and never let their word go unheeded. 240. The greatness of my devotees is boundless. I serve them. Even when a devotee of mine kicked me on the chest, I honored it and now bear the symbol of that foot as a gem on my chest. I bow to the specks of dust of the feet of my devotees. 241. One may feel elated to call oneself as a devotee, but the nature of devotion is not easy to comprehend. Its secret its secret is really not understood by ordinary human beings. Even the Upanishads and religious sciences cannot see it clearly. 244. Knowledge can be understood intellectually, but devotion is very deep. By devotion, love comes into being, which is pristine, pure, natural, and not a calculated pattern of thought or action. This is difficult to realize. 243. A miser is always thinking of his cash kept securely in his house, though he may go out anywhere. Similarly, my devotee always remembers me in his heart, though he may be outwardly busy in many activities. 244. Or a barren woman takes extreme care of the child in her womb if by great miracle she is pregnant. Similarly, my devotee is always sincerely nurturing my memory in his mind and heart. 245. Just as that woman gets all the symptoms due to that pregnancy, so my devotee experiences waves of delight for having me in his heart. 246. A mother in law is overflowing with love and welcoming enthusiasm when her favorite son in law visits her house and she offers everything to him. Similar is the state of mind of my devotee who is always meditating on me. His mind is overflowing with my love. 247. My devotee has increasing love for me, just as a farmer is happier and happier when he sows more grain seeds in his field. 248. When a virtuous and loving husband goes away for some adventure or some business, his doting wife is keenly waiting for him, very eager to see him back with her. Similarly, if by chance my devotee experiences that I am away from him, he laments piteously and eagerly await my return to him. 249. Oh Uddhava, when the devotee is thus totally in love with me, you should know that this is my devotion and I am at service of my devotees as a servant because of their great devotion. 250. Thus, the Lord was telling Uddhava the sign of real devotion when the love for God in the heart of the devotee is continuously growing and increasing. 251. With love, the Lord Sri Krishna was telling Uddhava, Dear Uddhava, know that this is the devotion by which I am always near my devotee. 252. That this devotion is the only means to go beyond and be free of this world. Liberation becomes a servant who is such a devotee. Why discuss about other things? 253. You see, I am unconquerable in all the three worlds, but on the strength of faith and devotion, I am made a servant of the devotee. 254. Devotion brings such a victory that any other kind of victory is nothing as compared with it. I'm going to tell you that also. Please listen how devotion is the greatest and the highest thing.
न साधयति मां योगः न साङ्ख्यं धर्म उद्धव न स्वाध्यायस्तपस्त्यागः यथा भक्तिर्ममोर्जिता.
Meaning of the verse: no yoga practice, no Sankhya way of meditation, no self study, no penance, and no renunciation are able to reach me as a really great and ardent devotee is able. O Uddhava. 255. Sankhya philosophy, which teaches what is permanent and what is temporary, or performing one's daily routine karma and reasonably arising duties, or eight-faceted yoga. Nothing of these are able to enable a seeker to reach me. 256. Or study of Vedas or any penance in which the seeker observes complete fast or eats only ripe leaves or takes only water or taking the sannyasa initiation, all these are powerless without the support of devotion. 257. Just as a face is not beautiful when there is no nose or the body without. 258. Head is useless, or a woman without husband is not honored. Similarly, all means are useless without devotion, and they have no strength to take the seeker near me. 259. Devotion to me is Devotion to me is unlike those other means able to make the devotional feeling richer and richer and reaches me directly without depending on anything else. 260. I am reached only when there is real devotion. This point was repeatedly told by the Lord to the Uddhava, by the Lord to Uddhava. 261. Oh Uddhava, just as a gem is always having its brilliance, just as the sun always accompanies Aruna, so I, the spouse of goddess Lakshmi, is always near devotion. 262. One who is endowed with this devotion is definitely having me as his companion. Any other efforts are not able to reach me without devotion.
भवत्याहमेकया सोरि भवत्याहमेकया ग्राह्यः श्रद्धयात्मा प्रियः सता भक्तिः पुनाति मन्निष्ठा श्वपाकानपि सम्भवात्.
Meaning of the verse, I, the beloved self of the righteous, can be reached only through one pointed devotion coupled with reverence. Devotion concentrated on me absolves even the people who eat flesh of dogs from the stigma attaching to their caste in which they have taken birth. 263. When all other efforts and practices are left aside and only faithful devotion is followed, I become pleased with the devotee. 264. To have an insight into all beings, seeing in them only God without allowing any doubt to rise in the mind, is the most important sign of my devotion. This is a real devotional feeling. 265. When a man becomes disinterested in all other activities and finds great joy in worshipping me and trusts me, neglecting even liberation. 266. Where does there remain anxiety whether one will be liberated or not? My devotion then has banished all the rules of action, etc. 267. When the devotee does not accept any other path except devotion, then only his life and my life become one. Even I may say that this devotee is my Atman. 268. I am the Atman of persons of wisdom. I am the dear Paramatman of my devotees. I am the supreme person mentioned in the scriptures, and being such, I run to welcome these devotees. 269. As I love one pointed devotion, I have become their obedient servant. It is because of them that I am praised throughout the three worlds, and it is because of them that so much importance is given to me. 270. It is by their kindness that I become Saguna and can eat food articles and enjoy dinner. By their kindness, I am able to put on ornaments and dresses, and on their vitality, I function everywhere.
Hari
Two,
Om. Awesome, my God. I don't want to stop you, but the time is like this, and it's so beautiful it is. Give your thoughts, Nikhila ji. So nice.
I like the starting verses at non-expectation and desires, which was so beautifully explained. It is, it is like telling to me that don't expect, don't desire, which we have so much in, and the devotee, and the devotion is so beautifully explained. Like which OV to live and which to express is so difficult here because I feel every OV makes sense and every OV is very much important to our.
Yes. I was underlining and then I found my hand whole page is getting underlined.
You have marked all the OVs here,
Just
almost all
marked
the
one
OVs.
star then. So it is applicable for all. It was like that. Ah,
God, he talks so much about devotion coupled with that reverence is
and
so
he says so
important.
that he goes behind the devotees to get the dust of the feet of the devotees. That was like, my God, where
So
is the
beautifully.
Nirguna Brahma, tapas and all, and where is this devotion? No, it's like, ah, so beautiful.
There are many stories which say that God come to devotees, that singing Mirabai and I remember many and especially the Gopikas. When I was reading one, the Gopikas, they were literally waiting for the Lord to appear. When he disappeared, they cried to their heart to see him. Such devotion to develop is
Ah, Sampradurasi Raivandahasi. He came back again that time to show that. And then Sandigdha Sandarshana. Then he said they were not going to see him. And then suddenly you come, then King Chakru Pramadati Bharat. I didn't know what to do. Beautiful. Today in Gita class, we did this, sixth chapter is going on. So the verses were this Nirashira Parigraha, that Yogi Yata Chittatma. So this desire is the making cause of Parigraha. So if we are Nirashi, then this Aparigraha will automatically. And same thought flow happened that Vyasa and this, if we are hoarding things and God doesn't want us to hoard things, become
and
Nirasha.
also that expectations.
Ha.
That's where Krodha, Lobha, everything comes because of the
Yes.
expectations. That
And I
second
like that
one.
where he said, just as camphor burns itself, everything in the. So, like that camphor example was very beautiful. Ah, my
I remember
God.
there was fire in Topayo flat somewhere yesterday. It burnt 2, 3 floors. People were crying that everything is burnt.
Same thing, it's one spark and everything it will take along
Yes.
with them. So exactly it said the same thing. So then,
So
if you get
one thought is also very important, it shows.
if that's what it says, when the devotion comes, then in the worship, then the network of objects only is burnt. So I think we should pray for, again, the Narayanian said what to ask for devotion. Over here also ask for devotion, it will burn off everything.
That
Great.
is Swamiji said in the talk also, don't go and ask for Lakshmi. How can you ask somebody else's wife? You ask God to come, the Lakshmi automatically follows.
Yeah, I liked one place where it said Sankhya yoga or any other kind of yoga, anything you do, but without devotion is of useless.
Yes, no,
Everything
yes.
you do must be based on worship and devotion. So so devotion is a must. So even if you don't do all other things, but just have devotion, uh, he says, I will go behind devotees. I think I like that verse. So it is the only thing, and there is no limit to devotion, and it cannot be expressed. How far is the devotion cannot be even expressed. So that is what Bhagavan says. Even I don't know is what he says. Wonderful voice today.
Beautiful. Today's reading was, and it was nice. We didn't do for 2 days, and but because of Narayanam, and then from Narayanam we are coming into devotion only. So it's like it's overwhelming. So good.
Actually, today I was just going through the Canto 2 because I have to prepare. So over there also the same topic of devotion, and Shukdev Maharaj says, it is the only thing that can help you cross. And even he himself, though he was so much into Nirguna Brahman and everything, but he was so eager to listen to the stories of the Lord, from the devotees, that he was willing to, come into this plane actually. And isn't there that episode with Ajamila, is it? I can't remember where, just by chanting the name itself, he's protected from the, Yamaduts, because though he
Narayan.
was not a very good person, so, it's just that even that little bit, I think Bhagwan is pleased.
It's
So, I mean, although it's in a family, I'm just sharing. When my father-in-law was in his deathbed, he had a attender called Subramani. So my mother-in-law used to be very happy because he'll be calling him all the time. So she said this way he's calling Murugan only. So she's Subramani, Subramani. So she said that his end was so peaceful, that is because he always called him without even realizing that he's actually calling Bhagwan only. So, I think he doesn't expect much from us. But sometimes that 100% devotion, we are not, our mind just, we have to have that.
yes.
And in one place, it was told about divided state of mind. Even though we know that doing a devotion, doing a worship with devotion gives good results, but still not willing to do that regularly, right? Every day, finding reasons to do different other things, right? So he says, yeah. So worship with determination, it is by force. We have to do worship. The determination is much, much needed. So even other work, the other tasks will go very easy because we, without knowing, we'll be just doing that duties and all the time we'll be worshiping him. I like that verse 224 or 226, I believe. 226. Because I am the one who always taking excuse to skip things. So, but it felt like it is for me. 226. He should prefer my worship with determination.
Attraction to
And
sense
attraction to
objects.
sense objects as secondary, unimportant, and worth rejection.
So beautiful. Good. So tomorrow, who wants to read? Sorry, please, Shri Hariji, please say. Yes, please
I
say.
just said great. I just said great messages.
Yeah. Today's reading is every OV is a gem. It's a gem. How much assurances.
I can read. Tomorrow I can read also.
Tomorrow, yes. So next week we will not have any session. No, Monday is there, but then Tuesday night only I have to travel. So last moment things will be there. So next week we don't have any sessions. The following Monday we will start. Okay, so tomorrow we'll continue. Over to you, Raja.
Om Purnamidah Purnam.
Om Purnamida Purnamada.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you,
Thanks to you,
Thank you,
Ashaji.
everyone.
At least because of Narayanyam, we are always
tomorrow.
chanting his name. And some chanting goes on.
Narayaniam has literally occupied whole chunk of the day. It's like, and it's beautifully occupied. You feel full. You're not looking for see all this while when we finish a text. Now, what next was the thing. After this, it's not coming like what next. After this, like more of this, more of this.
So tomorrow morning we'll be having the audio and trying to memorize the first verse of 100th Dashakam.
Yes, Agre Pashyami. I just see it in front of me. My God.
I'm waiting for it, Vaishaji. I'm really enjoying this journey.
So, because what at least people should memorize 98 and 100. So, I don't know how many people are going to stay on later. So, let it be gripped in that way. And then I'm waiting for 24th also. It's like there is some excitement in the heart happening, as though there is some wedding in the house, and like that it is coming.
Definitely, it's a big thing. It will approximately take 6 to 7 hours or 8 hours.
Yes, so depending upon how people are reading. So normally 6 hours, but see, we took yesterday 2 hours, 15 minutes. So different people would read at different speeds. So 6 to 7 hours we can, so 1 o'clock, 3:30 Singapore time we are starting. So expect 10:30.
Oh, wow. But we can get up in between and go for a little walk. Otherwise, the back.
Yeah, sure. But see, when you will sit, you will realize that you don't want to, but you can
Of course.
if you want to release and all and all.
Yeah, definitely. Because
Yeah, because I have a Rudram class from 3:30 to 4:30, 3:15 to 4:15.
You attend that and then join.
Yeah, he took up one
So why?
dashaka.
What happens is, Canada, Sahana, Lakshmi, US, they also have to join. And anything late, if we will do, then Singapore is sleeping time.
very
This
late.
itself is. So they have to start at 3:30 in the morning. So Singapore and US, Canada is 12 hours. So more late than 3:30 we can't do. That is the max for Singapore. Because 10 o'clock itself is late, which can be extended to 10:30. So if you say 3:30 to 10:37 hours, this is like the max late. But early, if we do, it's 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. will be too early for US, Canada.
Yeah.
So that's the
So it's supposed to start at 3.
1 o'clock India time.
1 India time.
So it will be 3:30 for US, Canada.
So do we have to prepare everything, or only for the Dashakam that we are reading, we prepare the everything?
Yes. Whether you even if you are not a volunteering in any dashakam, also prepare everything. You have to prepare everything and offer everything.
So some of the dashakams is not mentioned, like Naivedyam is not mentioned, like something.
So
It's
what is not mentioned, then it's not there. It's only for those particular Naivedyas are required.
But-
So after every dashakam, we will be offering a flower.
flowers. Yeah, okay.
And there is no break for offering. The next chanter will read. Now,
Okay.
suppose like we have taken 5, let's say now I have taken 96 to this, and then I have to offer maybe starting and ending. So I have to continuously read. I'll have to adjust my offering in between sometime or after that, before that, like that. So if we stop for offerings and all, then it will go like 8 hours, 9 hours. So because we are doing it online, we should continue it. But when we will meet in Guruvayur, and if at all Lord is willing, if we are offering anything and not just chanting, and if we are, I don't know how it is, then that one person who is in charge will keep on offering. And so then that becomes easy. But now because this is online, we don't have time gap for offering. We'll have to continue.
Okay.
Something exciting. Yeah, the
Experience.
house will be buzzing, to make unam, to make pasams and savories and
Everything
sweets.
is fine. That Ella full sapad only, I didn't understand how to do it.
Which one?
50, after 51 dashaka, Ella.
That's it. Any food you can cook for it, the shapada. Anything.
Anything.
Rice, rasam, sambar, more one uperi is also fine. Whatever you want to.
Okay.
It is a kalyana shapad.
I can make some paisam also, some nice.
That is
Yes.
there
Simple thing,
anyway.
yeah.
Paisam is there.
Easier than.
Yeah, we'll try to do most of it, Varshaji. We'll go through it.
Yes, we should. So
It's
some
our
preparation.
first.
But see, Singapore gets the maximum time for preparation.
Correct.
US doesn't get at all, and India gets like half day because 1 o'clock we have to start. We have to get up early, 3, 4 o'clock and start. Then only by 12 o'clock it will finish. Then only can arrange everything. So there's a lot to do.
Yeah. And this is our first Sampurna Parayana.
That's why I insist on doing everything. And in the subsequent, I don't know, I feel that we should have monthly full Parayan. Then that time one flower, one fruit, something like that, and one payasam we can, if at all, for a monthly thing if there. But this is first, and we don't know when we are going to do next. Let us do it in the best way. Okay, see you all tomorrow. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.